The three executives are charged with fraud and conspiracy, 20 years in prison if convicted. The Fed spelling out the cover-up of the problems was in their email. The three used to work here in Metro Detroit for Takata up in Auburn Hills, but tonight they are in Japan, and the Feds are working with the Japanese government to extradite them here to Detroit to face the charges here.
For more than a decade, Takata systematically falsified critical test data related to the safety of its products, and it did it to make money.
The evidence is, starting in 2000, Takata officials knew they had serious trouble with their airbags that use ammonium nitrate to detonate. They can explode and cause shrapnel to fill the passenger compartment. 16 deaths worldwide, 11 here in the United States, 184 injured in the U.S. 42 million vehicles have been recalled in 12 different car brands, the largest recall in U.S. history. The three Takata executives are veterans with the company for several years. The Feds say they were not told about their charges before today.
Even after the inflators began to fail in the field and injuries and deaths were occurring, these Takata executives continued to withhold the true data from its customers.
After 2 years of investigation, top company executives would cooperate with the Feds and have agreed to pay $1 billion, broken down with a $25 million criminal penalty, $850 million to automakers who use their airbags, and $125 million set aside for victims. Ken Feinberg, who handled the General Motors ignition switch compensation program, is recommended to handle this. He paid the families of 124 people who were killed in the GM case, and ironically, no GM officials were ever charged with crimes. The case was handled in New York, not Detroit, but by the U.S. Justice Department.
So I can't tell you about what did or did not happen in that case, but I can tell you that it is the approach of the Department of Justice in every case to look to find individuals who might be accountable if you can find evidence to prove it.
Now, we cover the GM case extensively, and attorneys on behalf of families did establish some GM officials allegedly involved in the cover-up of the ignition problem. They were never charged, but they used that information to leverage bigger financial settlements. David, Heather?
Well, Jim, what if this breaks Takata and they go into bankruptcy?
Will they still have to pay that $1 billion, or could they wind up not paying this massive fine?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. The U.S. Attorney here says the terms of this are they must pay $130 million within 30 days. 125 of that would be for the victims if they go into bankruptcy. However, the federal government is in line with all other creditors.